Pollution is the introduction of any contaminants into the natural environment that causes instability, disorder, harm, or discomfort to the ecosystem. Land, air, and water pollutions are common and is destroying our planet at a faster rate than anyone may have anticipated. Human behaviors are said to be the primary causes of pollution since 1950, humans being one of the major manufacturers of pollutants in the globe. In Belize, pollution has become a major public health and environmental concern, both in rural and urban communities. In San Pedro and Burgris Key, an island of over 15,000 inhabitants, the issue of pollution is also a problem. In fact, one of the major causes of pollution on the island is people disposing of items in an incorrect manner. But not only do people dispose of the items and garbage improperly, the island itself lacks a proper garbage collection system that would adequately address and meet the growing demands of this popular tourism destination. One just needs to take a ride by boat or in a kayak along the important but fragile ecosystem on the island to notice how much garbage travel the mangrove roots. The garbage and waste that are mounting by the day in this ecosystem could possibly be one of the reasons why the reef system, located less than a mile away, is under stress. A reef system that the tourism island depends on as a major revenue generating system. But not all the islanders are guilty of contributing to these mounting problems. Virginio Henkis has lived on the lagoon side of the island, and the issue of pollutants in this flimsy system is one of concern to him.
Garbage is drifting, is in the water and it's drifting all at the back there where I live, by the football field more or less. And I started checking where it's coming from, and I get to believe that it's coming from this area here when the high tide go up and the different currents wash it out and drifting all over the place, not only by my place.
How do you feel about this?
Man, I feel bad and shame because this is a tourist place, like a tourist destination. This is I think the biggest place in Belize City for as a tourist place, no? San Pedro.
You have been using this water for years.
Oh, from I'm a kid,
This is a fragile ecosystem. What would you want to see happen?
Well, I would like them to stop this mess and the proper people to see about it, They have mangroves, like little patch of mangroves that lobsters is in there because from I'm a kid, and the lobsters is going maybe sick of the garbage, but lobster and small fish, dark teeth snapper that are, like you can see, and different kind of little snappers, gray snappers and crana, all kind of fish is around here, And maybe they are feeding from the garbage, that's why they're here,
What would you want to see happen?
Well, I would like somebody to clean it. Whosoever do it, they're supposed to get a charge or pay somebody to do it. I just go to the beach and it maybe even reach way up to Rocky Point and Bacala Chico because the different currents take it out. When the current shift, it just spread it all over the coast, And that's why they have this garbage all over the beaches, So I would like the proper people that is seeing it or listening to this would do something, because I am not no one, I'm just a common laborer,
The garbage on the mangrove system is an eyesore for the island, a tourism destination that prides itself for its beautiful beaches, captivating underwater marine life, and most importantly, the reef system that sits just in front of the quay. For Mito Paz of Green Reef Environmental Institute, the issue of garbage is a challenge.
One of the big things is marine garbage, right? And a lot of the plastics that's been produced, like it is estimated that 1.5 trillion bags are produced every year, are being used every year globally, right? And most of those plastics end up in the marine environment, in the sea. Some of the plastic do come from the communities, right? From locally, it's generated locally from the community itself. but a lot of the plastics that, especially on the beach side, end up drifting from different countries and different areas, right? And it's a humongous task just to clean up the plastic. There's a garbage dump on the south side of the island that the town council use for dumping and collecting. They do the collection on the households and the resorts, and they dump. But there's still some illegal dumping going on, especially in the mangroves. People look at mangroves as wasteland, as lands that is not important. So they just dump a lot of their garbage in those mangrove areas, which is really bad, because mangroves are really important for the marine ecosystem. They are habitat for juvenile fish and for a whole bunch of wildlife that depend on that mangrove ecosystem, on those wetlands. Definitely, as a conservation organization, we don't agree of people dumping mangrove. That's why we have a system where you could properly dispose of your garbage. You could put them in the drums, and then the town council is in charge of collecting those garbage and taking them to the dump site.
As an environmental group, is this a challenge that you guys face on a daily basis, on a yearly basis?
Yes, that's a big challenge, but it needs the cooperation of everybody involved, to keep the island clean.
To protect the environment from the adverse effect of pollution, many nations worldwide have enacted legislation to regulate various types of pollution as well as to mitigate the adverse effect of pollution. In Belize, it's against the law to litter. However, the problem lies in enforcement of the law. The lack of human resources is always the excuse of not enforcing the law. And while the law is not enforced to punish those contributing to pollution, our ecosystem remains in peril. Hence, it's up to us as individuals to curb our behaviors. Pollution is and will remain all around us, but we can make a difference by being aware and by making simple changes that are mindful about our environment. After all, our health depends on the very environment we pollute. Therefore, pollution prevention and waste minimization are more desirable than pollution control. Before disposing of anything, it is important to decide if it can be reused, given away, sold, or recycled in a proper manner. It has a much better result than the items sitting in a landfill or emptied into the ecosystem that we depend on to live. This news report is sponsored by Grand Belizean Estate Limited. Reporting for Love News from San Pedro Town, I'm Jorge Aldana.